Hello and welcome to the Athlete First Media Podcast. Today I am joined by Maranacook's star, lacrosse player, Stella Stewart. Stella, thank you for joining me.
Hi.
I want to talk right about it because I like to get into things and make sure we have enough time on our hands. So, obviously, you guys, you're coming off two championships. One in soccer, obviously, for this past fall, almost in spring. And then you guys obviously won lacrosse as well. Uh, what is the how was that, I guess, is the question.
Um, well, for lacrosse, it was my first state championship, and it was a feeling I never experienced before, and I didn't know that winning something could mean so much to me. And
Yeah.
um, I think that I think it was probably the best moment of my life, and
Yeah.
as an athlete, I think that it was a really big moment, and I think following it with the soccer season, I knew that we wanted to win.
Yeah.
I wanted to win. I wanted to feel that feeling again because it was a it was a wonderful feeling, and so
Yeah.
it was exhilarating.
Yeah, I bet. And then talk to me about what this coming year looks like for you guys for lacrosse, because obviously, uh, you obviously are still heading up that offense, which was very potent last year for the lacrosse team. So how is the this year looking for you guys?
Well, it's always going to be the same no matter what. I mean, no matter who we have, I think we look at it from each game. Like
Yeah.
we look at the small steps and we look
Yeah.
at how do we do the next ground ball? How do we get that next goal? Because we look at every opponent the same way. I mean, sure, maybe we have to adjust some things at halftime, but I think that with I think there are worthy opponents, and I think that everyone's going to bring like a strong team to the table.
Yeah.
And I think we definitely are up there, but we also have some strong opponents as well.
How are you feeling about your personal growth going into this season?
I'm feeling I feel good. I feel
Yeah.
I, December when I committed to Holy Cross. I mean, it was an amazing feeling, and
Yeah, I
so
bet.
I feel I think once I committed to, I kind of pushed myself like a lot harder.
Yeah.
And I've been training nonstop with speed work. Um, I've been actually working on my ankle a little bit. I've been doing lacrosse skills and drills and more. And
Yeah.
so I feel really good.
Take me back because we talked about it a little bit off camera, but give me the length story of the injury that you suffered, obviously being as drastic as it was, and then the recovery process through that, and now what almost a full year post that.
Yeah, it's been a year now,
Yeah.
but yeah. So it happened in October. I remember it was a freak accident. It shouldn't have happened, but me being the way I am, I sometimes I overwork myself
Yep.
because I push and push and push.
Yep.
The week before, I remember having four soccer games because I
Yeah.
had two varsity and I was the JV goalie as well because I wanted them to win as well.
Fair.
And so I did that, but I also was a impact player on the varsity team where I had to practice as well. And so it just
Yeah.
overworked myself. And I remember on a Tuesday after a game the day before, I went to practice feeling uneasy. I was actually thinking of a way last period to get out of practice because I needed some rest. I felt uneasy, felt something bad was going to happen.
Yeah.
And right before the injury, I actually did twist my ankle a little bit, but then it was fine. It wasn't a sprain or anything. I felt
Yeah.
weird, but whatever. And I played the next drill, and I'm a very aggressive player, no matter what
Yeah.
sport I am, and I stepped on my foot wrong. Everyone thought it was shin guards colliding, but it was my bones. Like it wasn't a good
Yeah.
sound, and all I remember saying was like, I'm done. It hurt tremendously, but
Yeah.
I um we went straight to the hospital, and we found out like it was a spiral fracture on my fibula and a binomial fracture on my tibia. I ended up having surgery, I think a week after it. I remember it, October 17th, I think, was the surgery.
Yeah.
And it was I ended up getting a plate that's on my fibula. It's about like this big-ish.
Gotcha.
And then I think I had 7 screws, but that will change.
Yeah.
I it was a process, and
I
once
bet.
I was watching from the sideline, which is not something I like to do.
Fair.
I remember NBC's that year with soccer and not being able to compete and feeling like I could help, but I couldn't. It was hard, but I knew that being there, still injured, supporting my team is what we needed.
Yeah.
And so I still went to everything. I even sat in the back of my friends' cars while it rained and
Yeah.
watched soccer practice. Um, I thought that was hard, but it was probably the in between before lacrosse season because that was
Yeah.
when I went into like physical therapy and seeing what I needed to do to make myself better.
Yeah.
I um it was around after the surgery, I want to say 4 months till like I could actually start like running again. I
Yeah.
remember the day that I was allowed to run, that I was running in the halls at school
I
because
bet.
I was so excited. Oh my gosh. I it was very hard because as an athlete, I think that we need sports and we need structure, like we need things to keep us like in a schedule almost.
Mhm.
And I mean, I definitely relied on that, and I think that was very difficult, not being able to do anything, having to come home and just sit on the couch and rest and take time for
Yeah.
myself, which is also needed, but it was very difficult. By the time preseason came, I didn't realize with all the sitting around and stuff how much less I've eaten. And the
Yeah.
first game back, I remember like my dad having to carry me off like the field just because of how like nauseated I was by
Yeah.
the lack of nutrition and exercising.
Yeah.
Um, and after that, my dad told me, I remember him saying like, you either need to start taking care of yourself or I'm not playing you. And at
Mm.
that moment, I realized I was like, okay, I need to step up. I can't just like go back to where I was.
Yeah.
It's that or like, and so I decided to push and push and push. And I remember wanting to shoot as hard as possible, but I had to take it step by step.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me because I struggle with small things. I like
Yeah.
jumping right into it and
Yeah.
perfecting that.
Yeah.
But I slowly made my way there, and yes, I had a few troubles. Like my ankle was still not great. Remember
Yeah.
one game getting stepped on, and and my trainer had to take me off the field, but I kept getting back up. That's the
Yeah.
thing I've learned from this is get back up and like keep going.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was my recruiting stage, and that was also kind of defeating a little bit because all my friends were like getting recruited, and actually wait, that's sophomore year. So uh well, I felt like I wasn't being looked at colleges
Yeah.
anymore because I couldn't play to my full potential. And so I still kept working, and then we ended up getting further into the playoffs than we thought we were. And I mean, and at that point, I knew I wanted to win it all. I mean, when we were out of school, I think it was hard. I was actually talking about this today because, like, when you're out of school, you don't want to you want to go out swimming with friends, you want to do
Yeah.
that, but I was like, no, I have to sit in, I have to rest, I have to eat, I have to
Yeah.
keep my body cooled down. I have to win this game. And I remember going to that game, and the boys' game, it was a bit of a struggle. And I remember having to put my headphones on and lock in and make sure I
Yeah.
didn't hear anything else. I mean, I
Yeah.
supported the boys' lacrosse team, but it was also like, I'm gonna win this
100%.
game no matter how this goes. And
Yeah.
I remember stepping onto that field, and I was like, I didn't feel nervous.
Yeah.
I felt good, and I felt after all this like work, I'm not gonna like I'm not just gonna let it like I'm not gonna let it go almost. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
So I things were getting tight. I remember them going up 3-0, and then we got it back, and yeah, I remember having to win the draw possession. I remember that no one on our team could win it,
Yeah.
and that all I could do was basically tell them where it was going on the draw circle because the
Yeah.
girl was very talented,
Yeah.
and that was the only way we kept it in our game, like because I knew where it was going. I just couldn't win
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I remember the last 7 seconds of the game where or 10 seconds, we were like tied up, and we had a set plan, and my friend Cooper, it was supposed to be I was supposed to draw two, and I was supposed to give it to her, and she would shoot. She
Yeah.
did. She hit it perfectly right on the post, and it bounced out. I remember, I think I grabbed it, and that was when the 7 seconds hit, and I ended up scoring that goal, and
Yeah.
it was I think that was like a life-changing moment. And I think that wasn't even the best part. It was seeing my dad, like him like realizing like
Yeah.
after like that we won, like the
Yeah.
picture was like what got me. I was like, "Wow. That was awesome." And then
Yeah.
I don't know, my team, like we all jumped, and like I don't know, it was a great feeling.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
How are you feeling now? How are things going into this season health wise? Is your ankle feeling better at a good spot at this point, or?
Yes, I think that my ankle it's where it is. I think that it will always be a little bit of a pain, but
For
I
sure.
it's nothing that's gonna stop me. I'm gonna work hard to get it to the best where I can. I
Yeah.
don't feel it really. The only times I feel it is when I run on the beach, but that's
Yep.
it.
Of course. Yeah.
So, I think that uh, I think it's I think it's good. I'm ready to play.
Good. I bet.
Yeah.
How's the off season work been for you? How have you felt like have you been able, do you feel like you've grown in a lot of areas this past off season, like in between soccer and lacrosse, really working on lacrosse?
Yeah, I've been to a lot of clinics. Been to I go to Maine Elite,
Yep.
and so I practice there a lot with my coach, Coach Lauren,
Yep.
and I go to Top Flight, and it's every Thursday night, and I start from soccer to now. I've been working really hard. I've been going to the clinics. I went to a Stonehill clinic,
Yep.
and then I didn't, and then I went to a clinic called The Experience. It's in Massachusetts. There was about like 300 girls there, and
Yeah.
we had tons of college coaches there, and that was 6 hours. That was a new
Wow.
thing to me. I didn't
Whoa.
know that that existed,
Yeah.
but it did, and I thought it was fun. But
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of those, and on the off season, do. I started off with doing a clinic at Colby College every Wednesday.
Gotcha.
And then that ended. I do Monday night sixes, which is like sixes. It's like a lot like Canadian box lacrosse.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And then I do Top Flight, which is like it's like the elite training or whatnot with Coach
Yep.
Lauren, and they have college coaches come in and like learn different styles.
Gotcha.
And then I think someone that has been really helpful is their Coach Wade. He is the Camden Hills coach,
Gotcha. Yep.
and he's been helping me adjust my speed because I think that my stick work, I mean, always can improve, but I think that where I need is my speed and my endurance and my strength there, and he's been really helping me with that, and I think that I've been able to grow a lot more from that.
Yeah. Awesome. Love to hear that. All right. Well, I want to jump into my fun section. This is my always my favorite part. Who's the best player that you've played with, like skill for skill wise? Doesn't have to be at school either. It could be like on a travel team or something.
Okay. Um, it's a really hard question.
Nah, you're good. And it could be a
Um,
couple names too if you have a couple that float around in your head too.
yeah, no. I think that there's been definitely people that I've looked up to, and then there's people that I connect with. Like,
Yeah.
I think Cooper Davis is a she like it like I don't know. I think of her as like my she sees the field the way I do, and we
Yeah.
always are able to connect that way. And I
Yeah.
think that she's always seeing that next play, and I think that that is an one of like she's like really fun to play with. I think Maya St. Pierre, she is so gritty like me, and so it's like she's passionate like me, and she works
Yeah.
hard for the ground ball, the basic things, and we always ride like really hard. But then people that I look up to, like there's Oshie Lamar. She goes to Thornton Academy, and I
Yep.
think that she's been just like a very like she's like an idol to me. Like
Fair.
she's on my lacrosse team,
Yeah.
and she's a really strong lefty on our team, and I think that she's always helped me in a way to
Yeah.
succeed a little bit. Yeah.
I like that. Who's the best player you've played against? So like someone who maybe gave you struggles in a game or something like that.
Um, I would say uh, she's like one of my best friends, but
Love that.
Lucy Ward, she goes to
Yep.
Camden Hills. It's actually Coach Ward's daughter.
Oh, nice. Okay.
She is she's a beast. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's not like I play with her too. Like so I play against her, but I also or I played against her before, but
Yeah.
I think it gives me an opportunity to match up with someone, and like she gives me like a chance to get better. And
Yeah.
so I've also played with her, but I've also played against her a little bit. So I think that that is
I
something.
like that. Who's your favorite player all time, like to watch?
Um, I want to say my original is Charlotte North.
Okay.
Is that okay? Is that like
Yeah. Of
okay?
course.
I I've always I think she's amazing. I think watching her is like when I was like a freshman, I was like, okay, I really need to kick up my game here if I want to
Yeah.
be, because I I don't know, I was inspired by her, and I mean every
Yeah.
time things got close in a game, like I said this on my what was that called? The interview after the state game. I bring on
Yeah.
the Charlotte North, or
Yeah.
I like have to close my eyes and be like, bring on the Charlotte North. And
I love it.
yeah, I like it's she's so fun to watch, and I think she's just straight power, and I think she's what inspired me like from the beginning. So
I love it. Who's your biggest mentor? It can be in life, but also it can be in lacrosse. It can be whatever you want it to be.
I think my dad. Um I think he teaches me. I think he's a lot like me,
Yeah.
and so he teaches me not only in lacrosse but in life what
Yeah.
to do and what not to do. And
For sure.
I think that when it comes, especially when it comes to lacrosse, is I'm always looking for like what can I do better, and he tells me, and I mean it somehow has wound me up in the right spot every time. So I think that he would be my biggest mentor.
Who's the funniest teammate you currently have? And if you
Grace.
got a story, I'd love one.
uh, I'd say Grace Drown. I don't. She's had so many injuries that she's not able to play, and she still is the funniest person on the team.
Love that.
And it's these little jokes that she makes. I remember, I remember, there's so many I can't, I'm trying to think of the one to say.
If you got a couple, I'll always hear a couple too.
Yeah, I remember, I remember, I mean, we would, before games, um, we'd always like take like a silly video or something like of
Yeah,
us pregame like kind of
yeah,
thing, and we'd always do like a pregame like pump up video, and it was just funny because
yeah.
it was like in the middle of our hair doing, because like lacrosse like
Oh
or
yeah.
soccer they have to do the hair and stuff,
Yes.
and so
Yeah.
I have my braids everywhere, and we're taking a pregame vid, and she always makes me laugh there. And then when I get in my head a little bit, she always
Yeah.
brings it out with a stupid thing. Like it's so I don't know exactly what she says at that
Yeah.
time, but she always
Yeah.
she's like not only the funniest person, but she's like the sweetest person in this world. Like I love Grace. But yeah.
Love that. Love it. Um, bet I can guess this one, but what's your best sports memory?
Um yeah, I definitely have two. So I think that winning states was for lacrosse. I mean, soccer. It was amazing, but I mean, I was also in a position where I didn't. I've never been a goalie before, and so I was
Yeah.
a goalie. So it was a
Yeah.
different feeling. For lacrosse, it was the first time winning states, so it was
Yeah.
insane. And then I think my second one was um, realizing like I found like a home for the next 4 years,
Yeah.
and I was like I took a picture next to my coaches, Coach Belichick and Coach Prada, with after saying like I verbally commit to
Yeah.
Holy Cross, and I think that was, and like seeing like my dad smile on his face and stuff, like
Yeah.
that was definitely a big moment for me. So those two big moments are what.
How did the whole process for Holy Cross go for you? Because I know sometimes it can be a challenge with recruiting, but how
Um,
did the whole process go?
with Holy Cross, it took 1 week.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean the whole recruitment process that took a long time, but
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
it was after Stonehill when it didn't go to well. My coach Lauren, she pulled a few strings and she got me into the experience when we were supposed to sign up way beforehand, and
Yeah.
we didn't, and we weren't able to get in, but she got me in, she squeezed me in, and um, it ended up being so we did these games at the end where we had like two assigned coaches, and the two coaches were the Stonehill coach and Holy Cross coach. And
Of course.
so we had a chat, like a chatting moment,
Yeah.
and then I just like realized that, oh my gosh, I love her as a coach. Like
Yeah.
I want her to be my coach. And we were
Yeah.
just talking, and like we weren't even talking about lacrosse at one point. We were just talking about my my photographic memory and how she thought it was
Yeah.
impressive, and it wasn't even about lacrosse, and I was like,
Love that.
oh my god, I love you as a coach. And so that next we scheduled, I didn't even know she was interested in me, and
Yeah.
she ended up texting my Coach Lauren, because she
Mm.
knew Coach Lauren,
Yep.
and my Coach Lauren texted my dad, and I remember like taking my cleats off after the clinic, and my dad's like, or my sister pops up, and she's like, "Can I tell her? Can I tell her?" And I'm like, "Tell me what?" And she's like, And my dad's like, the Holy Cross coach is interested in you. I was like, what? And
That's awesome.
I was like so happy on the ride home. And I
I bet.
remember her texting me and saying like, hey, like it was so nice talking to you. And I was like, she just texted me. I was so happy. And we set up a meeting, I think like 2 or 3 days later. Um,
Yeah.
and then we got to know like me as a player and her as a coach, like the team, and like seeing like if there was a time I could go down to Holy Cross and
Yep.
like tour and see what it was more about. And we decided to do it that Friday. And
Yeah.
so I was
Love that.
so I went and we did a tour, we talked, and I saw the facility, I saw the campus, and it was like everything I dreamed. Like I've been to campuses and like I felt like, oh wow, this is amazing. But like this, it felt like my where I wanted to be, like my next home. Like
Yeah.
I was so it was a different feeling. Is
Yeah.
so um and then after I remember sitting in a cafe like right beside the bookshop and
Love that.
I after I decided I remember like my dad was like it's up to you and I was like I want to commit here and
Yeah.
after that they were like congratulations and so then
That's
it was
awesome.
a great moment and after that we hit up the bookstore and I got my swag and everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple more things, and then I'll let you out of here. But I obviously wanted to ask you about a little bit of this up and coming season as well. I mean, I know we highlighted of what that kind of looks like for all y'all, but for you now that you're committed, do you feel like there's a like weight off your shoulders coming into this year, like knowing you may be like not that like you can take anything off, but like knowing that you don't have to play to get a spot somewhere, that you already have a spot somewhere, so it's just playing for like just to get better.
Um, yes and no.
Okay.
The pressure's off in that way. However, I want to prove to that team that they made the right decision. And
Yeah.
so every single like I'm busting butt. I don't know if I'm allowed to say
Yeah.
it on here, but I am.
No,
And
I love it.
I am like so like yes, the pressure's off because I know I'm there, but that's it's like almost like a relationship you don't like you have to give effort the entire way through.
For
And
sure.
still I'm gonna give my effort in like no matter what. So
100%. So, does it help at least to make like do you feel like you can focus on like the state championship more than anything else? Right? It's like playing well, but then like you don't have to worry about like you anymore. It's about like in the sense of like you don't have to worry about like trying to show yourself off anymore. Not that you would do that over the team anyways, but like now you could really focus in on like, okay, let's make sure we win this thing.
yeah, I think I did that to begin with, to be honest, because I think that that's the most important thing is
Yeah,
to win no matter what. I will give up a goal if I know it's not there and I
yeah,
know that someone across like that's cutting across is wide open. Like I think that that is the most important thing and getting the possession is key. So I think yes, I think that when the state championship like last year happened, I think even though I had pressure, I let it go. It was not what was happening then. It's the
yeah,
state championship was happening now, and so like I was preparing myself for that because that was the next step. So I think that in a way I've always been able to do that, which I think is a great thing my dad has taught me. But
yeah,
in like the back of my head, yes. Like to answer
yeah,
your question, yes, I don't have to focus on like my high school stats, even though my high school stats were mostly ground balls and assists, because I
fair.
think that that is important.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think? This will be my last question, and I'll close us out. But what do you think is your biggest strong suit that you take to the next level? What is it that Holy Cross is gonna love about Stella Stewart?
Um, I think that I am willing to work like hard. I'm willing to work as hard as possible to
Yeah.
become what the team needs, as well as being that team player that's able to step in if they need. Like I
Yeah.
will always raise my hand if they need someone
Mm.
because I myself I want to be what the team needs to be.
Yeah.
And I think that my learning I don't I want to take in everything they have, every like constructive criticism. I want to take it and I want to build from it. I want to be stronger than what I am. I think that
Yeah.
that is what they're gonna. I think that that's what they were looking for or something like that.
Yeah, no, I like it. Okay, perfect. So obviously, that's the last question I said I have. I do always give the floor to the person to say something at the end if you'd like. You don't have to, but if there's like if there's some encouragement you'd like to give on, or if there's like a quote you love, or something about the season coming up, it could be anything. Also, don't have to if you don't want to, but you do have the floor if you'd like to say whatever you'd like here at the end.
I think that the I think that everyone's journey happens like the way it does for a reason. I think
Mm,
that that is one thing learning with this whole thing. I think there's been tough spots. I know my friend Hadley went through it with her ACL, and she was very strong. And I think that I learned from that, and I think that that is my last thing that I would take away from everything.
all right. I love it. Thank you for coming on. I greatly appreciate it. To all those who will listen, like it up, share it up, do all the stuff with it, and we will see you guys next time.
Thank you so much.